Hello everyone, welcome back to Base Damage. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to be taking a look today at the Project Sekai Colorful Stage set. It is going to be dropping this week. Time crunch, I forgot that it was coming out, to be completely totally honest. So I just recorded Lycurus Recall, and we are recording this immediately. And this is going to be a huge set. This is going to be 2 videos for Project Sekai. This set came out in 2022. It came out with a 108 card booster set and, no kidding, 5 trial decks, each pertaining off the different combinations. I'm assuming kind of like they call it Bang Dream did the different bands, like you had Poppin' Party, Afterglow, Roselia, etc. So I'm assuming it's something along those lines. I know some Project Sekai characters, mainly the Vocaloid cards. I don't know who Nene or Saki is, but I know Luca, I know Miku and stuff like that. So there's a lot of the Vocaloids that I know. I don't know a lot of the other characters, so forgive me on that. But for the Vocaloids, I'm hey, I know that one. So this is also a set that's been highly requested when me, Baksu-chan, and Joe go to conventions and stuff. They're constantly asking, do you have Project Sekai stuff? So I was able to get JP cards, and it just sold very, very fast. So with English coming out, I'm definitely going to be picking up this set. Mainly, not even for me to build. I might collect some stuff, but it's mainly to try to sell the cards and whatnot, because I know people who want just boxes of this. So let's jump right into it. For anyone who has ever seen one of my first impressions videos, I mainly try to highlight the double rares in every single color, but I will go through and, show off the SPs or whatever, and try to at least highlight the cards that I think are interesting or cool, neat climax combos, etc. So this is part 1. We're just going to be going over the booster set. Part 2 will be all the trial deck stuff, since it's 5 trial decks. It's just wiser to do a separate video for that. All right, let's get into it. Starting off with the very first card, the first double rare in yellow is a 0/0 double rare Nene. I have a bottle of water to the side because I'm going to be talking a lot for this. Here we go. So 0/0 When this is placed on stage from hand, so on play, already really good. I've seen too much of this is on death. So on play, you can pay the cost. Pay 1, put a music character from Waiting Room at the bottom of your clock. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 level 1 or lower character. Show it to your opponent, add it to hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. We have a Ricky right off the bat, and it's from Waiting Room is the damage. This, already probably one of the most expensive cards in the set, but I'm certain I say the most expensive. But a trend that I've seen with Weiss now is if the set is super freaking popular, give it a couple weeks where people crack open a bunch of boxes of stuff. And even the Rickies like this are not the worst in the world. We just really depends on the set, how much people decide to crack open. So we shall see. So already off to a great start, Nene. So and then we kind of backtrack with this first line. This 3285 Saki. Immediately just kind of a backpedal. This is a really good Reiki effect. Typically the Reikis are deal yourself a damage from the top of the deck or something, right? This is from Waiting Room to clock. I really like this. And then you have 2 or less climaxes for early play condition. Okay. Instead of, if you have 4 or more other music characters or whatever, 'cause I say music because it looks like all these are going to be music, but they made a note. Leo/need is 1 trait, for some of the groupings, like I said before, say here, Leo/need. So it's not 3 traits, from what you can see up here. You'll see music, and then Leo need is all 1 trait. But everything's primarily music, from what I understand. So this is immediately kind of a backpedal, but then you have a really good effect. Can be played without meeting color requirement. That's good. If it was just the, 4 or more music characters minus the level, I feel this is still going to be highly played, don't get me wrong, but it would have been 100 times better. For each of your other back row, this gets 1,000, and when this placed on stage from hand, you can discard a card, put the top card of your clock into your stock. Already off to a good start there. All right, next is Sukasa, 3210K. I think that's a dude. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I think that's a dude. It's all good. We do not mind the dudes here. I'm just so used to seeing waifus in here. Let's see, 3-2. When this is placed on stage from hand, heal 1. Okay. When this attacks, if you have the choice trigger, number 25, in your climax area, pay 2, and you have 2 or more other Wonderland X Showtime, which would be like a singular trait character. So this is already going into trait specific, like a trait specific deck, like a band locked basically. I say banned because it just makes me think of Bang Dream. Anyway, you pay 2, pitch 1. If you do, deal 1 damage to your opponent twice. And this turn, this gains 3k power. Anyway, wanted to finish the effect before I continued yapping. I say ban locked because there was a lot of stuff that's like, oh, if all of your characters are Roselia, if all of your characters are Afterglow, stuff like that, then you got certain effects and certain climax combos were able to be done. So that's just what I just say ban locked for the sake of that. I don't know if they're actual bans or if it's just groupings. I don't know. It could be, OTPs for all I know. Whatever. Okay, Mako, I know. I think she's originally a Vocaloid. I mean, obviously you got Miku down here. Oh, she has 3 traits. She has. They both have Virtual Singer. So the Vocaloids are going to have, like, Virtual Singer for the trait? Okay. All right, so that is it for the double rares in yellow. So I'm just going to, for sake of time, it's a 108 card set. I'm just going to kind of blitz through these real quick. So Mako, cards trigger if it's a soul trigger. This gets an extra soul. So if you reveal a soul trigger, it gets more soul. So if you swing for 1 trigger, it's now 3. It's just like, so I mean, I guess siding with that is like really good. Okay. Start climax phase. You may send the top 2 cards. Your opponent may send the top 2 cards of their stock to waiting room. Oh, it's because it's oversized, makes it so you can't frontal. Really, really cute Miku. Rui, we have a climax combo. 1045. Okay, it's the fever condition for salvaging. Basically, at the start of Encore, if either there's no character across from them or the character is reversed, you get to salvage. That's what they had for Bang Dream, like during Girls Man Party era. They had an effect called Fever, which is just how my brain equates it. Where if you met that condition, it did an effect. So the nothing across or the opponent is reversed is what I call the fever condition. So, but yeah, salvaging. I mean, you don't have to reverse if there's an open lane, but otherwise you do. So it just kind of depends. You can still get it to go off. Miku. Your trigger choice, you can pay it out basically to draw a card. Nice. Kaito, he's also a Vocaloid. Level 3 Slayer. It gets 6k and 2 soul. Why is everything getting like swinging with like 3 soul? I say everything, but like I've already seen 2 cards that immediately was just like give it soul, give it soul. It's like, okay, we just don't want to give you like +2 souls. We're just gonna build it into the fucking set. Okay. A 3/2 has an early play condition. On attack, pay 2 if you have 3 or more in memory to burn for 1. Kind of whatever. Also, there's a lot of like SPs and SSP I'm kind of glossing over. I'm going to try to show them at the end of the video. I probably can zoom in a little bit more. No, it cannot. Okay. That did not go over how I wanted it to do. Global 5. The specific Rui number 6. Okay, this specific Rui gets it says in any area gains the soul trigger. So if you're rocking it with like the choice and whatnot, they'll have soul triggers to be able to like grab back with choice or whatever. Or, if you trigger them as well. So really nice. And you can sack it to add 2 different events. Everyone's Christmas and Wonder Christmas. Okay, cool. Emu. I feel like I've seen art for her before. I don't know. Just the face is kind of like reminding me of something. I don't know. Let's see. God, we're already like this far in. Climax combo. This is interesting condition. This ability cannot be activated on the first turn of the first player. When this attacks, if you have the choice trigger, choose up to a 1 level 0 or lower music character in your waiting room. Place it on an empty slot on your stage. This turn it gets 500 power. You cannot attack 4 or more times this turn. I remember Macross having some kind of similar condition in terms of like the 4 attacks. I think it was off of a Kaname or something. I don't know. I just remember Macross having something for that. It doesn't really matter too terribly much, but I mean, it's all good. Oh, also you got like a full art. You got full art versions of like all of these that don't have the text. Hold on. We're immediately sidetracked here. So, like, notice how these VR is the rarity. My head is covering it. Sorry. Boom. It says VR. It's the same exact card, but no text there. That's gonna feel so weird. I wonder if there's like any rules like you can't use those, because it doesn't have it. Like it doesn't have the effect up there. This actually poses an interesting question. I wonder what the JP ruling is on this. If someone is watching this and they know the ruling for what I'm about to ask here, is this one of those instances like when you have mixed tournaments where you have English and JP? Do you have to have where you had to have like the translations and stuff on hand immediately if someone's like, hey, what the fuck does your card do? I can't read moon runes. But this doesn't have an effect at all, not even for a translation issue. Are you still allowed to run this? Or, like, do you have to, or like, are you not allowed to due to the fact that there's nothing written on the card? Or can you just have like a translation thing? I would assume that you could just have a translation thing, but it does beg the question. Like, I didn't even notice that if that was like, this is like the first couple cards that actually has it, because nothing else had VR. Vocaloid rare, I guess. I don't know. Virtual rare. I don't know. It's just weird that it's like, I mean, maybe this, I don't think this would be like a typo or something. I don't know. Or like a misprint type thing. Anyway, interesting thing there. I just wanted to quickly ask that because it does kind of matter, like, as to whether you can run those cards if you pull like the highest rarities of those. Anyway, the summon something else, multiple attacks and shit. Okay. For each of your other music characters, this gets 500 power. Level 2 Slayer gets big. Okay, so he becomes 55 and then 6k, 11.5. Okay, cool. Once again, he has the VR card. So if someone can answer that in the comment section, I would be greatly appreciative there. I don't expect like to start any drama off of that. I just am curious. It's just kind of weird. Like, I would assume it's probably treated the same way, where you just had to have the effects on hand. But for English, like a regionals tournament, that feels kind of weird to have to bring translations and stuff like that. I feel it's just an extra level of like excessive that I don't know if Bushi's going to want to do. Anyway, 3k with a mill backup. Climax combo. It's a 2-1. When this attacks, choose one character. You get to salvage back something, and this gets, if damage dealt by this is canceled, she gets like a massive buff till the end of your opponent's next turn. Saki lets you salvage. No, I'm sorry, hold on. Start of your encore if you have the choice, or a bar. It's one of two different climaxes it works with. In your climax area, this is your front row. Pay 1, sack this. Choose a music character in your waiting room, add it to hand, then choose one character in your hand and place it on stage in this card's form or slot. You just get to summon anything? That's interesting, actually. One, it's a level 3 Slayer with this first effect. This is an uncommon. The way that I'm reading this is you would go, cool, I'm going to use this combo, search for like my level 3 climax combo, and then summon a different level 3 from like that I already have in hand or something that's like maybe like a big oversized character or something. Or like, oh, here, let me summon this thing that has great performance. I feel there's a lot of stuff that could be done with this. If I'm reading this correctly, you could do a lot of shit with this. I'm going to keep an eye out for this card. Rui Brainstorm. See, once again, like I said, because this is like 2022, it feels weird to see this. Brainstorm of pay 1, rest 2 characters. Mill 4 for each. Look at the 3 cards from the top of deck. Add 1 card amongst them to hand. But then we go right down to pay 1, rest self, mill 4, salvage Brainstorm. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, continuous. Your Leo need characters and climaxes, so maybe the climaxes are going to have Leo need or something like that on them specifically? Or is this just blanket, your climaxes can be played without meeting color requirement? On a common. This is on a common. Okay, so this is going to be like the most sought after brainstormer for that band group. I wonder if they're going to give a character like this for every single group. That's the next question. Okay, cool. Gets Big has character encore. Top checks, on attack, reveal. If it's music or event, add a hand and discard a card. A really cute nene right here. Has a soul trigger. It's a 1/0 with a soul trigger. Oh, a cost 0 or lower stock bomb. Really nice. Emu. Placed on stage. Discard a music character on play to grab back the 2 different events. It is a 1/0 also with a soul trigger. I'm trying to be mindful of seeing the notes. Let's see. All right, so now we're at the events. Wonder Christmas. If you do not have a Wonderlands X Showtime character, you cannot play this from hand. Top check 4, add a music character or event amongst them to hand. Show to your opponent, added to your hand. Okay. So you could go into like multiples of these. Kind of interesting. Tell me everyone's Christmas. 2/1. Send this to memory. Reveal top card if it's music, add to hand. During your turn, if this is in your memory, all of your Wonderland Showtime characters get 1,000 power. 3/1 Miku event. Perform the following effect twice. You may discard 1 card. If you do, choose an event in your waiting room, add it to hand. All right, so then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 different choice triggers. There's no shot. There's no spin. It's all choice. Honestly, kind of cool. All right, so now we're into the greens, the double rares for that. Okay, it says, my head's covering it up. It says more jump. It's really cute. Like I said, we're gonna show off like all the high rarity stuff at the end. So the first one is first green double rare is a 0015 Airi. More jump is, I'm assuming, their particular band thing. I keep saying band, forgive me. When this is placed on stage from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 1 or higher, add it to hand, then discard 1 card. So that does work for events. Really nice. When this is reversed, you can pay 1, discard a music character, send this to memory. So we're going to have some memory shenanigans. Search your deck for a music character added to your hand. Okay. But once again, so you have certain things here that are locked, and then you have certain ones here that are just music, like overall. Okay. Then we have the only other double rare green is a 1045 Minori. During your turn, if you have another music character, this gets 1500 power. When this attacks, if you have the gold bar in your comics area, you have another music character, you can discard 1 card. If you do, look up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 2 music characters amongst them, show them to your opponent, add them to your hand, send the rest to waiting room. Honestly, this is really good. I really like this comics combo. Okay. We got more Miku. So we got Miku in like every color. And it's with Ren. I was going to say, I can't think of her name, then it was like right down here below it. Okay, so we have... So is Miku just going to be in every single color? Can you make an all Miku deck? I know there's a volume 2 that I don't think they've announced for English just yet, but that would be so cool if you could make like an all Miku deck from just this. I don't know if you can, but I mean, hell. All right, time to go to the simulator and see if we can. 0015. When your trigger track reveals a bar, give a character a buff. Pay 1 rest, mill 4 search. Okay. Because now we're in the rares, I'm just kind of blitzing through. 2/1 assist Ren. Act restless. Choose one of your other characters, send it to stock. Like, here, you've fulfilled your purpose. Get out of here, type thing. Interesting. That could possibly set up for some interesting things for like extra stock. Because then you can immediately pay for it the turn that you play her, if you wanted. Because then it pays for itself. So, sorry, my back is itchy. Clean Cut Shizuku. Haruka. Climax combo. When this attacks you with a bar, 2 or more other music characters in your memory, and all of your characters are more jump. Another band locked one. Trait locked. Trait locked is the better thing to say. Another trait locked effect. Pay 2. If you do, look up to 3 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Choose up to 3 cards amongst them, put them back on top of your opponent's deck in any order, send the rest to the waiting room, and this gets 4k power. It basically lets you mocha the top 3 to go, oh, you have climaxes in here, get them out. Really nice. And you put them back on top, which is really nice. So if you just see all 3 are clean, it's like, cool, I just know this damage is fucking sticking right now. So honestly, this is very good. This could have some very interesting payoff for this. Let's see. 3/2, turn it's played, it gets big, and during its battle, your opponent, all players cannot play backup. Battle opponent becomes reversed. Pay 2, pitch 1 if you're the gold bar. Look it up to the bottom 5 cards of your opponent's deck. Choose up to 2 climaxes and send it to clock. I remember someone talking about this. I want to say like Joker or somebody, or it might have been Soup, had said something about a card that did something like this. Really crazy. Irie, climax combo. It says 0. Okay. When you play a gold bar, look it up to 4, add a music to hand, and it's a spammable brainstorm to search, but then you discard afterwards. Shiho, really cute. Just oversized 4K. You can't use events or backups while she's on field. Once again, we got a bunch of these VRs that just don't have effects and stuff. But like, this is a really simple, like, okay, you don't have to worry about stuff. But then when you get to like, you know, entire fucking climax combos, I really feel that's going to be something brought up. 2 or less cards in memory, you can choose a hurricane from a waiting room, send it to memory. Okay, so you just like put another, it's a different hurricane. 43. This one? You send this specific one to memory? Okay. We got another Ren. There's got to be someone making like an all Vocaloid deck, right? When this attacks, all of your characters get when the trigger check reveals a climax with a gold bar, draw a card, and if you do, discard 1 card. Really nice. We have an anti-change Shizuku. This is really cute. I love this art. Holy shit. When this is reversed, if the battle opponent's level is higher than their level, send the top card of your opponent's clock to the waiting room, and if you do, send that character to clock. So, and on a level 1. So, just saying. You can use it as a backup or as a just typical just reverser. Just very good. Let's see. A early play Minori. And then it gets buffs based off of how many cards are in your memory. So if you have like up to 4 cards in memory, this just gets hexproof. Your opponent can't use backup when it attacks. Stuff like that. Okay. On play, draw 2, discard 2, put 1 card from the top of your deck into stock. Okay. Place on stage from hand. Act 1, send this to memory. So it goes to memory. I'm certain there's other things that rely on this being in memory. Look it up to 4, add 1 more jump character. Another Ren, really cute. Buffing, give multiple characters buffs. Just big buffing. Blips characters out, buffing. Reversed. On reverse, reveal 3, add a character, basically. A more jump character, and then discard a card. The Shizuku, we got a climax combo at level 2. Card's battle opponent becomes reversed. You may pay 1, sack the gold bar. Look it up to 4. Choose up to 4 music characters. Okay, gotcha. Oh, it does something. Sorry, this does extra. So choose up to 4. Add them to hand. Rest to waiting room. And then this gains the following ability to the end of your opponent's next turn. When this is front attacked, you may return this card to hand. Okay, I mean, she's already been sitting at like 9k. If your opponent somehow would get over this, it's just like, cool. Just going to bounce it back. You're only using this combo once as well because you have to sack the bar, so kind of feels weird. I don't know. 2/1 that gets big if you have a level 3 and if you have another level 2, so 8k. So it becomes like a 12 if you have 2 or more other music characters and at least 1 other level 3. Okay, so on a 2/1 that's kind of big. Oh, we're already at climaxes. Okay, are they all gold bars? They are all gold bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, all right. So now to the reds, we have the first double rare red is a 0015. Akito. If you have another music character, this gets 15, and at the start of your opponent's attack phase, if there's a character in the slot across from this, you may move this to an empty front row slot. All right. So we're making good time so far, honestly. That's not bad. So just, it can run. Awesome. Next one, I was right. We're going to have a Miku in each color. That's really cool. Also, I didn't realize... so the trait for this, Vivid Bad Squad. What is this naming convention? Okay. We have a 0015 Hatsune Miku. When your other character's battle opponent is reversed, choose a character, give it 500. And a Brainstorm, pay 1, rest this, mill 4. For each climax, you get to salvage back a character. Okay. A 3-2 Kohane 9K. If you have another music character, this gets 1,000 power and character encore. We have Standby. All right. When this attacks, if you have the Standby in your climax area, 2 or more other music characters, pay 1, pitch 1, deal 3 damage to your opponent, and then heal 1? Damn. Damn, I kind of like this one. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's fucking, deal burn and heal down. Like, okay. Damn, if heal attacks becomes a thing again, this is going to hurt. This is going to okay. And the way this is worded, I'm assuming it's just send from clock to waiting room. I know when it just says heal like this, that's typically what it means. But because there are multiple forms of quote unquote healing, there's, heal from clock to stock. There's heal from clock to hand, being specific. Once again, more VR rarities. All right, so that's it for the red double rare. So now to the rares. When level 1 with the standby combo. Let's go ahead and read this. When the standby is placed in your comics area, this gets 2,500 power. So it'll be a 6K. And the ability, when the battle opponent becomes reversed, look up to 4 cards on top of your deck, choose a music, add it to hand, show it to your opponent. Okay. This is really, really good for standby, and then this is really, really poo-poo. It does bond to a specific Akito coming up at number 64. Maybe that will actually matter, but just the reason I say poo-poo is it's an on-reverse effect on a standby combo for a 1-0 that standby doesn't give buffs. You have to reverse with this. You're not getting any buffs. You have to make up the effects elsewhere. If you can get bigger than 6K, let me do math again, 25 plus 35, yeah, 6K. If you can get bigger than 6K with some other effects, yes, this is viable. It's just by itself in a nutshell. If you somehow don't have those other components, it's only 6K. That is not getting over a lot of stuff by itself. So, kind of poo-poo stinky. And I can't smell. Anyway. Continuing on. We do have another anti-change in red, of all things. Okay, also, I love this art for the SSP. That is so pretty. Oh my god. 2,500 backup. When you use this card's backup, pay 2, sack a character, which this is really good for sacking, to deny, on reverse effects. Choose one of your opponent's characters whose level is higher than your opponent's level. It's just send to waiting room, but still. Could very much come into play. So we do have 2 different, anti-change, things going on. We have Lin. Obviously, if we have Ren, we're going to have Lin. We got the twins. Oh god, he has Bodyguard. Okay. For those who don't know, Bodyguard is great performance in English. So it's the same effect. So if your opponent has... What? I don't think I've seen this early play condition on a card in a very long time. If your opponent has 5 or more climaxes in their waiting room, early play, okay, granted, the previous time I saw that was on a level 3. But this is on a level 2. Instantly not as bad. But for your opponent to have 5 or more climaxes in their waiting room, just to be able to early play this at level 1 just feels kind of weird. Anyway, on play, it gets until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gets 4K in Bodyguard. Why are you needing a Bodyguard, great performance character at level 1? To stop on reverse effects like this. You see, it's all coming together. Anyway, just the crunk bit. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. All right. 3-2. 3 to 500. It's a 2K. There's stuff that can just pop this for like nothing, which is crazy. Place on stage from hand, pitch 1, heal from clock to stock. So there you go, healing. Act, rest this, choose a character with Bond, specifically Bond, not James. It gains the effect. Okay. So you pick a character that has a Bond effect, and then it can that character with the Bond effect can sack itself to just straight up salvage a character that it's already targeting with a Bond effect. Typically, the Bond stuff is like on play, so you could on play with the Bond, grab back a character, then you could do this on, and give that same character that's doing the Bond an additional, like, sack itself to grab another copy. Okay. Interesting. It does a lot for only having like the 500, so the trade-off there is kind of nuts. Another brainstorm in red. So a Bond with a particular Kohane at 69. Haha, nice. Brainstorm, pay 1, rest 2, mill 4 for each. You get to salvage. Honami climax combo with a door or pants. And also this is back to Leo Need for the typing. Interesting. When the door or pants is placed, if this is in front row and you have 6 or less hand, if another music character, choose up to 1 music character in your waiting room. Send it to stock, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 0 or lower character, send it to stock. Just a ton of stock production there. Interesting. Well, it's got to be for something big, right? I don't know. What did I do? 1500 backup with when you're an on-field effect for the backup. When your other music character is frontaled, pay 1, sack this. If you do, return that character to hand. Instead of like another attack buff, she just can straight up say, nope, save it, send it back to hand. Actually, really cool there. And because it's like nothing to play her. It's funny because you could do this to like standby something in. Then if it's like you really want to deny like some advantage to your opponent, just like, cool, I'm going to sack her, bounce the other card back, like, you know, whatever. Maybe pay out a standby or something. We got some more Bond coming up here. This Akito is with the other one. So I'm trying to suppress a yawn. 1035. During the turn when your other is placed on stage, you get to grab, you can pay 1, bounce this back to hand to salvage. Just a lot of salvage advantage here. And it bonds with the same Toya that I think bonds with it. The Lin, when a climax with the standby trigger is placed, you can give someone trigger check, twin drive. Blech. You give someone a buff and twin drive, really nice. Especially in like an 8 standby build, that's really good. 2-1 Toya, level 3 Slayer. We've had multiple level 3 Slayers in this set already. Very interesting there. For some, multiple level 3 Slayers, but also having multiple weird early play summoning conditions. The typical, like, if you don't have any other resty characters, you can pay 1, rest it. Mako, very, very nice. If you're other. Oh, so this is like your typical 2/2 standby target for each of your other music. She gets 1,000, so she'll be a 10k with character encore. 500 assist. Place on stage from hand. Top check if it's music. Add it to hand. Discard a card. Kohane. Okay, so when you like play a standby, you can bounce this back to hand and give a character +1 soul. And this bonds with a particular brainstorm. It's actually really interesting to have a bond for. That's really cool. And honestly, you gotta think of the bond stuff as well is really good for standby as well. I mean, this effect already is really good for standby because this bounces back and then you have a slot for a standby. But you can discard your standby targets and get your specific shit like your brainstorm. That's really nice, actually. Yeah, sure. Let me pitch this 2/2. Grab the brainstorm, play the brainstorm, maybe use it, play a standby, bounce this back to hand. And then you have a spot to summon that 2/2 immediately. Just like, all right, I'm just saying as an example. Okay. On music. This is also, she's really cute. End of your turn, another standby combo. If you have God, we've had nothing but choice, nothing but gold bar. Are we going to have nothing but like, well, I guess there was like door. So we're just going to have like door and standby in red. I wonder how many standbys we're going to have. At the end of your turn, if you have the standby in climax area, 3 or more music characters, choose 2 of your characters. You may swap them. Ooh, so you could like summon out a 2 or a 3, then go ahead and swap it into like middle center or something. Interesting. Okay, that's actually really kind of... Or it doesn't have to be her. It could be 2 other characters. It also doesn't say rest them. So, I mean, it's at the end of turn. So it'd be past encore step. So it's not like you'd be able to use it to, like, save. Like if something were to die in middle center, you can't swap with something in middle center now because it's already gone because of encore step. And a rest to give 15. Okay. Toya, top check, buffing. Honami. This card gains the color of all the face-up markers underneath this. Interesting. So maybe there's something else that works off of like the colors and stuff. Mako. The typical like memory compression, like hater effect. And give a character a buff. Another combo with a standby on a 2-2. If you have 2 or more other music characters, this gains 2k, so it'll be a 95. If you have the standby, look at up to 2 from the top of the deck. Choose up to 2 music characters amongst them. Top check 2, add 2 music to hand. Show them to opponent. Interesting for a standby combo. A 2-1 event to salvage back 2 characters and then discard a card on a very cute Lin there. Okay, anyway, sorry. I was looking at the art. I was honestly distracted. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different standbys. A lot of different combos you could possibly do with this here. And 1 singular door. Like the one standout. And I'm assuming for blue, if we've seen the same thing in like yellow and green, it's probably just going to be all pants, right? There's like 0 chance there's book triggers in here, right? I mean, I see pants already, but it makes me question. All right. So we're back to Leonid. So, all right. The first blue double rare is a 1045 Ichika, best girl from Quince. During your turn, if you have 2 or more other music characters, this gains 2k power, so she'll be a 65. And then with the pants, she'll be a 75. When the pants is placed in your comics area, you can discard 1. If you do choose a cost 0 or lower music character in your waiting room, place it on stage in any slot. And this does have to reverse for the second one. But you could do this and summon like another copy of her. So you don't have to like commit a whole bunch of cards to hand specifically for like copies of her. You can specifically like, cool, I'm just going to summon the 1 and then summon a second copy, assuming you can like reverse twice, right? Battle opponent becomes reversed if you have the pants combo and you have another music character. Choose 1 music character in your waiting room, add it to hand. So it's on reverse salvage stuff, but she gets bigger. And obviously, there's other stuff to make her bigger. She's not a 6k that needs to reverse. So this is good. The other standby one was poo-poo. 328k. Count it up. 25G Nightcore. What the fuck am I reading here? Nightcore? We playing some Nightcore music in here? Okay, cool. All right, I'm down. 328k. If you have 2 or more music characters in memory, this gets 2k power. On play, heal 1. Oh, interesting. This has 3 soul. Huh. Okay. Up to 1 time per turn when this attacks, if you have the pants, you can pay 1. If you do reveal the top card of your deck, if that card is a music character, stand this card. And it's on declaration of attack, so it is kind of funky. So you don't have to reverse, but how these effects are worded, you declare the attack, you pay the cost, and you stand her while she's still doing the first attack. She's only going to be a 10k by her own ability and 11k with pants, so you do have to be mindful. And she's going to be 4 soul. I just realized that. She's going to be 4 soul with the pants. That's actually kind of nutty. Just go 4, pay 1, the poke for 4, stand, poke for 4. Kind of nuts. And granted, the top check has to be a music character, sure, but I mean, whatever. All right. The last double rare in blue is a 328k Mizuki. Here we go. If you have 4 or more music characters minus a level in hand, the good early play summoning. 2 or more other music characters, this gains 2500 power and character encore, so she'll be at a 10-5. Okay. With Character Encore, place on stage from hand, look at up to X cards from the top of your deck, choose one card amongst them, add it to hand, send the rest to waiting room. X is equal to the number of music characters you control. So you get to dig equal to the number of the music characters and stuff. And moving right along, it looks like we do have another Miku, but clearly from what I said earlier, like, oh, I wonder if there's enough Miku cards. We've only really had like 1 or 2 in each color. It's not going to be enough to do this. But she's part of Leo Need. So 1035. Play without meeting color requirement, always good. Place on stage from hand, you can discard a climax, salvage. Oh, when the damage you take is canceled, return this to hand. Okay, honestly, in a pants deck, this is kind of dumb. I mean, in like, or in a gold bar, because it says it can be played without meeting color requirement. So you could run this in an all green deck. This could be a very good level 1 like utility card. And I feel like I've seen like art of Enna as well. Also, I love the difference in this, where this is the normal art. This is the SSP art. This looks so good. But then you go down to Luke. I mean, it still looks good, don't get me wrong. But it's the same art. Pick one side or the other, because then the Mafuyu is also different. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. Enna. Let's see. She gets big if you have a card in memory. Kind of like, it makes me think of, what's her name? Botan from Hololive. Battle opponent becomes reversed. If you have the pants, you can discard a music. Search your deck for 2 music characters. Really interesting. Because you discard a music and then you search for 2. Kind of like a Zek and Yuki-ish type thing. Except you have to reverse. It's whatever. Actually, since you have to reverse, during your turn, if you have a card in memory, she gets 3k. 7 with pants. She'll be 8k if you have a card in memory. So, understandable. You have good chances of being able to reverse with that. The Luca... Okay, we have something for that whole, like, multiple number of colors for characters marker thing from earlier. The turn this is placed on stage from hand, when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if the number of colors of characters on stage is 4 or more, you can pay 1 if you do search your deck for 1 music character. So I wonder if there's other stuff that worries about color on field. Because you do have stuff that doesn't have to meet color requirement. So you could have that. I mean, you're playing blue anyway because this is blue. So, I mean, it's like, I don't know, whatever. Interesting. Mafuyu pants placed on stage. Shuffle all cards from your waiting room to the deck. Ooh! So you just on play at the pants. You get to free fresh, basically, by discarding a card. Then look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Put them back on top in any order. Huh. But then you kind of double up. When a climax is placed in your climax area, look at 2 cards. It feels redundant to have this second effect up here. I guess because then this works with other climaxes as well. It just feels weird. Like, you can use this for any other climax, not just the specific 104 pants that it has. I don't know. It just feels kind of weird. Ooh, we have a Miku climax combo. Oh, it's off of the white hair Miku as well. That's actually really cool. 3-2, 10-5. It's a Fumio, first off. Place on stage from hand, rest one of your standing characters. If you do, your opponent chooses 1 climax from their waiting room. Shuffle all other cards from their waiting room into their deck. That is really, really nice just to have. Just on a rare, just to have that, even without the climax combo. When this attacks, if you have the pants in your climax area, look at 2 cards on the top of your opponent's deck. Choose 2 amongst them. It's literally Mocha from Bang Dream. You get to top check 2 of your opponents and send any climaxes. And then you get to top check 2 of your own and put them back on top of the deck in any order, send the rest to a waiting room. So you could, this is literally Mocha on pants. And it's a Fumio. This shit right here is about to be a rare, is about to be really fucking busted. I like that. Okay. Also, the SSP of that is just really, really cool. Oh, that's interesting. That's a good point. I wonder if the Mikus are all the same signature or if it's like a different signature depending on the band or whatever she's with. I don't know. Interesting. We'll have to take a look-see. Trigger check, reveal with pants. You get to salvage back the specific Night Core trait. Mafuyu. Oh, you get to like Discard a climax to add back a climax. Okay, so it like climax swaps at the start of your climax phase. Interesting. But you have to pay 2. It has to be in memory also. Which you can get into memory. Look it up to 3 at a level 1 or lower character. Okay, cool. Kanade. The Ichika is very cute. Also, we just stand white hair characters in this household. Place on stage from hand. Choose one of your characters until the end of your opponent's next turn. It can't be reversed by your opponent's auto effects, which is like, can't be affected by reversers, which is fair. And a brainstorm, pay 1 rest this mill for each you get to search for a music character. Luca, 2/1. If the number of colors on your stage is 4 or more, this gains 6k. It'll be 10,000. Which Luca is also Vocaloid from back in the day. Drawing, discarding, and gaining back stock. A 2/1 with 2 soul. Inna. Oh, anti-change bottom deck reverser, and it has a character encore. Interesting. For your other music, 2 or more. Okay. Free 2k backup Mafuyu. Top check. Level 1 or higher, bounce back to hand. Power Pump Ichika. Luca, I really love this art for Luca. It is really, really awesome. I love this little outfit and everything. Global 5. Rest this. Choose one of your characters. This turn it gets +1 level and 1,000 power. This card does not stand during your next stand phase. Interesting. You just like summon over top of her, I guess. I don't know. Mizuki common level 1. Interesting. Climax combo. She becomes a 6/5. On a pants 7/5, and the turn when the pants is played, get an extra. It's like an 8/5. Why is this so big? Until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gets the bounce back effect. Is all that it gets. You get like no plussing advantage off of this, but it just bounces back over and over. Interesting. A 2/3 event, which is like this is like the cover art I think for one of the posters. It's literally Darkness Plan from To Love Ru. It gives a character battling 1,500 power, and gives the opponent's character, assuming they don't have hexproof, a ability that reads, "This cannot deal damage to players," which is just really, really nasty depending on the combo that you're using that on. 2/1. Search your deck for a climax at hand. Choose a music character until the end of your opponent's next turn. It gains 2k. All right. And that is going to be it. I think there's some promos. So we have pants. 6 different pants. There's so much leg wear in here. All right. And we have 2 promos, and then it goes to the trial decks. The trial decks will be a separate video. So we have 2 different Mikus. 2 different Miku promos. 106k. The character across from this gets +2 soul. When the card's battle opponent is reversed, draw a card, discard a card. Interesting. And a 1045 during your turn. This is 1,000. Place on stage from hand. Get 2 cards on the top of your deck. But keep them on top in their original order. Just some random top checking stuff. This is kind of funky. But yeah, just more Miku promos. All right, so I'm just going to go over here. We're going to go back up to some of these alternate arts and stuff like this. I really, really love the art for this one. It's just really, really fucking pretty. And we're just going to do this. And should be able to just go all this while I'm yapping. This is a very interesting set so far. Like I said, there's certain cards, certain combos that I'm like, hey, these are really, really good. And once again, I know the trial decks is going to have other things. Okay, there's just nothing right here. There we go. I know the trial decks are also going to have probably some very interesting combos and card effects that I'm going to immediately record the next part for that right as soon as I'm done with this. I'm also going to have part 2 up the same day as this one, so by all means, this will be up very, very shortly after. I think I'll try to spread it out like an hour apart. So if you watch this, the other one should be up by the time you finish this video. So anyway, once again, I know there's a volume 2 in JP that came out either last year or the year before. I don't know. So there's a lot of cards to work with Project Sekai, and I'm assuming there's going to be others. I really love this. I'm assuming there's going to be other. Oh yeah. I'm just kind of making a mental image of how this looks because this is really interesting. Because I don't know what exactly that reads, and I don't know what this says because I can't read moon runes. Very, very beautiful SSPs and everything. I'm going to go a little bit slower here. This is really nice. I really like the aesthetic of this one. Like just the art background. I got to find it, see if there's like a wallpaper for that somewhere or something. That looks really nice. It seems to be a lot of interesting combos and just really, really strong cards that you could... like, there's more than likely stuff that you could very easily build. I just don't know the trial decks just yet, so I don't know, like, what the go-to is going to be. I really think that one Miku level 3 is going to be, like, a really, really good combo, and it's on a rare of all things. So, going to be interesting there. I'm curious. I don't know if I want... I don't think that I want to build anything. And like I said before, I'm assuming you just have to have the translations. It's one thing to do that at a locals. It's another to do it at, like, the regional level. I don't know what they're going to rule this for regionals. And they may have done away with this altogether for English. I don't know. So if they keep this, we'll have to, like, see... But doing it, like, completely textless like this, it makes me question if they're going to be like, yeah, sorry, you can't run it. It has to have the ones with the effects on it. I can only imagine there's going to be something to talk about with that in upcoming events. So, I want to see this. But regardless, I would love to see, like, a Vocaloid deck, you know, in the year of our Lord 2025. I would love to see, like, a Vocaloid deck topping at a regionals or something. That would be so cool. The SSP for that. The angle on that is sus AF, cameraman. What the hell? Lynn. This is really pretty. I love that art as well. Very nice. Playing the violin. I realize we're only in reds still. Anyway, now we're in the greens. Once I look through the trial decks, I would definitely be curious to see, like, what other interesting combos could be paired with stuff. There may even be, like, a trial deck combo that's better. And that's the other thing too, having certain effects trait locked, it makes me question what the strongest trait lock, like, combination is, you know? I really love this art too. It's very, very pretty. I could rant about the art forever, but we are scrolling through just to take a quick look-see. It makes me want to immediately just go to the trial decks and start going through it, but like I said, part 2. And that may be a shorter video. I may just try to look at the climax combos really quickly and just, like, glance through all the effects super quick. We're already in yellow, so it shouldn't take too long here. Okay, I say that. There's, like, no other... Come on. There we go. I like the set. I'm not, like, super impressed just yet, but I'd be curious to see someone who knows what the hell they're doing, like, actually building something off of this and doing some damage with it. So, I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. Why does this look like Bee-Boo from Hololive? I don't know. Really cool. All right, that is going to be it for us today. This is the end of part 1. Trial decks are upcoming. Thank y'all very much for watching. If you want to, feel free to like, subscribe, all the YouTuber shenanigans, and we will see y'all on the flip side. Stay based.